Unbelievable, my friend. And you're confusing it with the entire NFL. After the collapse against the Cowboys, a 21-0 loss that turned into a nightmare in the last second, a bombshell dropped that nobody expected. The Eagles not only lost the game, but they may have lost two essential pieces of their defense. And now, my friend, a gigantic signing of a four-time All-Pro player is being demanded from within the locker room itself. I got exclusive information about this negotiation, about who is being sent, about the urgency within the franchise, and about why this name is, at this moment, at the top of the Philadelphia Eagles list. But before I reveal everything, absolutely everything, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications, because what I'm about to tell you, nobody else is saying. The situation is serious, the fans are in shock, and the decision could change the entire Eagles season. The Philadelphia Eagles find themselves in an unprecedented moment of urgency this season. What began as a display of dominance and explosiveness against the Dallas Cowboys quickly turned into a stunning collapse that now threatens both the team's momentum and its roster depth. And, as the dust settles, a brutal truth becomes impossible to ignore. Philadelphia may no longer have enough tall players in the secondary to sustain the upcoming stretch of games. That's why the name of Justin Simmons, a four-time All-Pro who has publicly stated his desire to reunite with Vic Fangio, suddenly becomes a key piece in saving the season. The Eagles entered Week 12 with a crushing 21-0 lead, which electrified fans and silenced the fervent crowd at AT&T Stadium. But everything changed in the second half. A last-second field goal converted by Dallas sealed the defeat, and the turnaround caused Philadelphia to immediately fall to second place in the NFC, behind the Rams. Worse still, the injuries that followed created an unexpected emergency. Rookie security guard Andrew Mukuba left the stadium wearing a knee-high boot and crutches, unable to put weight on his right leg. Reed Blankenship suffered a thigh injury and did not return to the game. Suddenly, a position that already presented unknowns now seems dangerously vulnerable. Sidney Brown and Cooper DeJean can help, but they simply cannot fill all the gaps left, and that's where Simmons comes in. He not only played under Fangio, but also excelled under his leadership. Simmons publicly stated on the Talkin' Ball program that signing with the Eagles would be the top priority, praising the franchise's leadership, its Super Bowl-winning defense, its elite offense, and its exceptional locker room culture. Despite starting all 16 games last season for Atlanta, he remains available. A surprising fact considering his resume: 4 All-Pro starts and 2 Pro Bowl selections between 2019 and 2023. With a short week ahead and a crucial game against the Chicago Bears on Black Friday, time is running out. If Mukuba and Blankenship are sidelined for an extended period or unable to perform at their best, Simmons instantly becomes the most logical and impactful signing the Eagles could make. He knows the Fangio system, understands the pressure of the playoffs, and brings proven leadership to a defense desperately in need of stability. The front office can no longer afford to wait. The decision needs to be made now. And if the urgent search for reinforcements has already raised the alarm, what happened before that explains why the Eagles reached this point. The collapse that changed everything this week. What happened in Arlington wasn't just a loss. It was the complete collapse of a game the Philadelphia Eagles should have won from start to finish. After building an impressive 21-0 lead, the Eagles watched the Dallas Cowboys close the gap in what quickly became one of the most shocking collapses of the entire 2025 NFL season. What should have been a celebration for Philadelphia fans turned into a nightmare that exposed deeper structural problems than the poster initially indicated. The game began with the Eagles looking unbeatable. Touchdowns on 3 consecutive drives, flawless execution, and a Cowboys team that seemed shaken and overwhelmed. Dallas opened the scoring with a fumble, followed by a disastrous punt, and then squandered another possession. They were even saved by a questionable afternoon of illegal contact on the kicker, which could have changed the narrative of the game, but instead only extended Philadelphia's early dominance. Everything pointed to a blowout. But then, with only 30 seconds left in the first half, Dak Prescott found George Pickens for a touchdown that at first seemed harmless, but became the spark that ignited the Cowboys' comeback. As soon as the second half began, the Eagles were unrecognizable. Communication breakdowns in the secondary defense, uncontrolled coverage, stalled drives, and a growing lack of composure transformed a dominant performance into complete chaos. The breaking point, the moment that truly captures the spirit of Eagles fans around the world, came when Saquon Barkley fumbled for the first time in a tied game, a moment that instantly changed the narrative of the match. From there, Dallas took control. Prescott orchestrated a disciplined final drive, running down the clock and setting the stage for Brandon Aubrey's decisive 42-yard field goal. In a stadium that went from explosion to silence in the blink of an eye, the Cowboys sealed a stunning 24-0 a 21 victory. The loss doesn't dash the Eagles' playoff hopes. They still hold a 2.5-game lead over Dallas in the NFC East, but it exposes a dangerous truth. No lead is secure when execution fails. A collapse of this magnitude is more than just a bad day. It reveals flaws in decision-making, discipline, and emotional control. And the disaster didn't end with the score. Injuries sustained during the chaos now threaten to reshape the defense and potentially alter the trajectory of the entire season. And the problem didn't stop at the score, because the consequences of this turnaround were even worse within the roster. The consequences of the Eagles' collapse against the Cowboys go far beyond the frustration of losing a 21-0 lead. While the score was already a hard blow, the real damage only became apparent after the game, and it could directly impact how Philadelphia approaches the crucial stretch of games ahead. The second division, already an area of concern for 2025, was plagued by injuries that could prove far more costly than any single loss. What happened on Sunday wasn't just a performance collapse, it was a personal collapse, leaving the Eagles with serious doubts and an alarmingly short time to find answers. Andrew Mukuba's heat was the first and most visible. Forced out of the game in the second half, Mukuba was later seen wearing a heavy orthopedic boot on his right foot and relying on crutches, unable to put weight on his injured leg. According to initial reports from CBS Sports, Mukuba will undergo further evaluations, but the initial outlook is grim. It will be an uphill battle for him to be ready for the Philadelphia Eagles' next game, which takes place in an extremely short week, with the Black Friday matchup against the Chicago Bears. For a defense that relies on its reach, instinct, and aggression, the timing couldn't be worse. But the problems didn't stop there. Reed Blankenship, one of the secondary's most consistent players this season, also left the field with a hamstring injury and did not return. Losing one safety is already detrimental. Losing two in the same matchup, especially one as physically intense as a Cowboys-Eagles classic, creates a level of defensive instability that no coordinator wants to face, especially with only 4 days between games. This sudden lack of depth in the roster puts the Eagles in an uncomfortable situation. Sidney Brown, who had more opportunities after the injuries, showed inconsistency, alternating between impressive tackles and costly read errors in coverage. Cooper DeJean, while talented and versatile, is now being called upon to fill positions he wasn't expected to play so early in the season. These players have potential, but potential doesn't replace experience, especially against playoff-level opponents. This leaves the Eagles with emergency international options like Andre Sam and Brandon Johnson, both currently in training camp. While they bring depth to the role, relying on inexperienced safeties in a crucial NFC playoff race is a gamble that could easily backfire. That's why the pressure on the front office to act quickly is mounting, and why a conversation about signing veteran safety Justin Simmons becomes more urgent by the hour. Simmons brings leadership, proven performance, and familiarity with Vic Fangio's defensive system. In a situation where communication and experience are essential, his arrival could immediately stabilize a secondary shaken by injuries and confidence issues. With the game against the Bears fast approaching and the playoff race tightening, the Eagles can't afford to hesitate. After squandering a 21-0 lead, suffering major injuries in their secondary, and now facing a short week with significant defensive gaps, what do you think the Eagles should do first? Fix the collapsing problems, sign Justin Simmons immediately, or make deeper changes before the season slips away? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Eagles news.